Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of Ford2Fit. Today we're going to test fit the engine to the chassis and show you the modifications that we have to do to adapt it to the new motor. So we've got the oil tank attached and the engine is on the hoist. And when we set the engine in the frame, you can see that there's a few inches of obstruction keeping the mounts from meeting the chassis pickup points. There's a few other things getting in the way as well that we have to move around, which I will let my engineer John show you and explain what we have to do to get the new engine in there.
For this phase of the fit conversion to the once Duratec powered Miguel, we finally got the adapter to bolt the engine to the bell housing, so now we could offer up the engine to the chassis to see what modifications need to be made. The front upper mount we've already cut out. It was interfering with the front cover of the engine. So now we're able to slide it in there till it fits, and we found some interference here as well with this lower tube that we're going to notch out so that it fits around the oil pan. And then after that, it looks as though we're only going to have to move this tube in the chassis to clear the exhaust. My calculations are correct. Everything on this side looks like it will be able to stay in place. At that point, we'll just have to fabricate up a new front mount, which looks like it should be a pretty easy deal as well. And we'll have the engine bolted in. Shouldn't take a whole lot longer. Just to have it bolted in. There'll be a lot of work after that, obviously, but at least the engine will be bolted in place.
So right here, our mechanic Russ is grinding off the paint so that he can get access to the bare metal, so he can use a plasma cutter to cut the notch in the tube for the oil pan.
It should literally spark. It should literally spark in the air. At least once.
Here you can see the notch that Russ cut into the tube, and in order to regain rigidity we're going to have to invert the piece that we took out and weld it back in. The flange type things you can see on the left of the oil pan are still in the way, so we're going to have to remove those as well. This is the tube that was obstructing the exhaust, so we're cutting it and we'll fabricate a new piece that won't get in the way.
How much you want me to leave on this other end, John? This end.
No matter what. Oh, that one there? Might leave something to weld through or we can maybe work with. I'd leave a stub yet. Maybe even a little more one just in case we want to just angle at it. Or
You want to come in maybe at an angle rather than
here.
sit on top of it?
We'll sit on top of it and then maybe notch it, catch part of it. I don't know. Leave a little bit there for now.
Yeah, well, I just didn't know how far to come back.
Or we can make these angle right on it.
True, we could probably come straight in and get rid of all of it, but we'll have to worry about that later. Oh, I don't think it'll be that bad, but...
So once we've made the modifications, we'll bolt the engine back in, recheck if there's anything we missed, and to start thinking about fabricating the pieces we need to secure the engine and to regain the structural rigidity that we lost when we started taking the parts out. So with it secured in right now, everything fits pretty well. There's a possibility that we'll have to move the upper mount on the left-hand side. There's a thermostat housing for the coolant system that bolts to the engine block there, and it might get in the way. But the rest of it goes in well. The oil pan is nice and snug, and the exhaust will be able to clear the mount that we're going to install on the right-hand side. That's all we've got for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Next week we'll be doing some fabrication, making the engine mounts, and welding in replacements for all the pieces that we took out. So subscribe to follow the rest of the build, and then to get to see the real fun start when we get out on track and actually start testing and racing.